Thank you, Dr. Rockout, for reminding me to make this happen. Thank you, Dr. Caro, for reminding me to look into the video. And thank you, Mark Einhorn, for reminding me that I can look straight at the video, too. Just a quick, interesting thing on the Parsha. So first of all, we know that the Parsha, we know there's two names of Hashem's name. One is Hashem. Hashem is kindness or compassion or whatever, however we would like to call it. And Elokim is din, is judgment and exactly the way things are. That this is the rules. So the question is like this: the first, when God created the world, I would think that God created the world with compassion. And then what happens is that over time, you add judgment to it to make sure things don't fall out of place. And the fact is, throughout the first, until after, when God is creating the world, we say, Hashem says specifically, he says, Brieshis bar Lakim, Hashem, judgment created, Hashem of judgment created the Shemayim v'aretz, the heavens and the earth. And then each thing, it goes through Elokim. It says Elokim, Elokim, Elokim. It doesn't say Elokim until after the seventh day. That means the creation's, it's already set in its place. It's 7 days already. Even Shabbos is already set already. The idea is, and then at that point it uses the name Hashem. And the question is, what took so long for the compassion or why was it judgment the whole way through until that point? And the answer to it is, a very interesting answer, is that Elokim means judgment. And the idea of judgment is this is the way things are. This is exactly the way it is. That means that if, let's say, you're building a building, you don't want to make, you want to make it with solid steel material. You don't make it with foam, because then it'll never work, because it's always going to be falling up and down. It's never going to fit perfectly. It's always going to fit perfectly, but it's always going to be falling down because of it accepts its compassion. It accepts, it doesn't hold its place. Judgment is something that holds its place. So if judgments are the rules, so when you create a building, you create it with judgment, you create it with steel, something that holds it solid. On solid, you can have compassion, and in the building itself, you can have compassion. You can make different rooms, different sizes, and so on and so forth. But the building itself has to be with judgment, because the idea is that it has to be. We can't. Let's say we decided to play a game of sports, or whatever it is that we created, and we say there's no rules. There's no rules. There is no game, because without the rules, I can make my rules. You have your rules. So we all have different rules. So the idea is that me and you are playing different games, because I say I'm winning, you say you're winning. So that's not a game. There's no rules when it comes to that. That's what compassion is at some level, because compassion is really looking at me and saying, okay, you're okay person, and I'm going to let you get away with it this time. But judgment is telling you that these are the rules. Yeah, so I could say, I'm winning you 8-0 in the game. So either I can have compassion and say, okay, stop, the game stops here. I don't want to win by 40 points or whatever the story is. Or I could say the other hand, though, I could say, this is the rule. Now I'm going to give you compassion. I'm going to start you out with, next time we play together, I'm going to start you out with 8 points to start off with. So make it even. That's compassion. But as far as the rules itself, there has to be rules in the game itself. If you want to make that one person has better rules, worse rules, because I'm better than you or you're better than me, and so on and so forth, that works also. But the idea is that there has to be rules in everything in life. There always has to be rules. Without rules, there is absolutely there's nothing there to create. There's nothing there. You can't create anything without rules. Let's say if anybody's a computer programmer, if you try to program something that without rules, so then it's never going to work. You're never going to be able to figure out a program. You're never going to create a program. In anything, when you're trying to create something, it has to have rules. Without rules, it's not going to work, because the thing itself is too flexible to fit and accomplish something. That means that, let's say like this. Let's say I decide I want to create a program, a website. And my website is going to be different than every other website. My website, anybody can write whatever they want on my website. The problem, what happens then it's not anymore my website, because then other people decide to use the website for whatever they want to use it for. So then it's not I'm not in charge anymore. The idea is that because I had too much compassion, I decided to get rid of the walls of the rules. So the idea in life is that we have to know that that's what Judaism is all about, and the world was created Brieshis, means because of the Torah, because of the idea of have us as people, successful people. And the idea of rules are that's the only way to live life. So we have to know that the idea in life is not to break the rules. Maybe sometimes you have to bend the rules a little bit, but the idea is to know that the rules are still there. Even if, God forbid, you have to bend the rule a little bit, to realize that this is just the thing that's outside of the rule, but the rule is still there exactly where it is. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should bless every single one of us, that we should create rules in our life that should make us feel more successful and be more successful. And through that, we should have a wonderful year, and we should be very successful in going through the whole entire 5 books of Moshe Rabbeinu. And Me'ez Hashem, we should have great success. Good Shabbos, everybody.